In case you haven't heard, Apple has created a new kind of credit card designed to be used with Apple Pay on most iOS devices, but it has been marred in controversy. The tech giant's first credit card, managed by Goldman Sachs, came under fire after this tweet by tech entrepreneur David Henson went viral.
The Apple Card is such a sexist program. My wife and I filed joint tax returns, live in a community property state, and have been married for a long time, yet Apple's black box algorithm thinks I deserve 20 times the credit limit she does. No appeals were.
Apple's customer service said a black box algorithm was responsible for the discrepancy, and there are apparently no exceptions. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak said he also had a similar experience with the Apple Card.
The same thing happened to us. I got 10 times the credit limit. We have no separate bank or credit card accounts or any separate assets. Hard to get a human for a correction though. It's big tech in 2019.
And apparently, it's not that much of a surprise in the tech world.
These systems, which we had hoped would be a mechanism to combat long-standing issues of prejudice and bias, as a way to really advance civil rights, are actually vulnerable to inheriting a lot of the exact biases that we thought these systems would help us overcome.
Last year, Amazon had to scrap its AI hiring tool after repeated bias towards men. The internal AI hiring tool, built in 2014, was gender biased in its candidate ratings, since the data collected over 10 years mostly came from men's resumes. The system taught itself that male candidates were preferable. E-commerce giant finally scrapped the entire hiring tool last year. As for Goldman, New York regulators are now investigating the discrimination claims under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, a 1974 law that prohibits lenders from considering sex, marital status, race, color, religion, national origin, and whether a borrower receives public assistance to approve their credit application. This issue came into the limelight in the 70s when a prominent Chicago TV anchor, Jory Lulo Friedman, lost access to some of her credit card accounts after marrying a person who was unemployed. When addressing Congress, she asked, "In the eyes of a credit department, it seems women cease to exist and become non-persons when they get married." Historically, the concept of credit, the trust for one party to provide money to another, the approval of cardholders, and the assigning of limits have been biased to women. 40 years ago, banks required single, divorced, widowed women to bring a man along with them to co-sign for a credit card. Crazy, right? Although women have made huge economic progress over the decades, financial discrimination continues to this day. A primary factor is the gender pay gap. In 2018, women earned 85% of what men earned. But another factor is homemakers, or stay-at-home moms, like in the case of David Henson's wife, Jamie.
David and I share all financial accounts, and my very good credit score is higher than David's. I had a career and was successful prior to meeting David. And while I am now a mother of 3 children, a homemaker is what I'm forced to call myself on tax returns. I'm still a millionaire who contributes greatly to my household and pays off credit in full each month. But Apple Card representatives did not want to hear any of this. I was given no explanation, no way to make my case.
When algorithms do not consider, for instance, shared wealth or income, then financial industries that rely on artificial intelligence cannot claim they provide a fair and impartial evaluation of credit assessment. Yes, it's just the algorithm, but machine learning algorithms fed biased data in regards to gender and ethnicity influence every aspect of our lives, from employability, criminal justice, insurance to creditworthiness. Although its effects are not very well understood, AI has already been incorporated in our social institutions. And now, when 2 giants in tech and finance, the Apple and Goldman Sachs, are under the spotlight for gender bias, can we still regard algorithms as fair and neutral, or are they objective?